What's going on, people in internet land? Kimchi Chris here, and welcome to today's brand new episode of Rock Bliss with Kimchi Chris. And today we are looking at the first release of possibly many for 2022 from the hottest band in the land, Kiss. That's right, we're just a couple days into the new year, and Kiss is coming out of the gate swinging, smacking us in the head like Jackie Chan in Rumble in the Bronx with a brand new release. They are giving us the second release in the Off the Soundboard series. Now, Off the Soundboard is a new series of releases from the band that are basically official bootlegs, if you will. They're putting them out on vinyl and CD, and these are unreleased live shows. Now, last year, they kicked things off with a bang with a show that really kind of surprised everyone for a first release. And that was Tokyo 2021. Now, if you're not a hardcore, intense, elite Kiss Army general that knows all of the minutia about every show that's ever happened with this band, you might not know why this was such a unique release to start the series with. But basically, it features a lineup of Gene, of Paul, of Ace, and Eric. That's right, Eric Singer with Ace Frehley lead guitar. A combination that didn't last for a lot of shows and was a very unique one to start out with, and one that pleased a lot of people. And the release looked just like this. So boring packaging aside, this release was solid, and most people were excited to get their grubby little hands on it, myself included. And it really got the gears turning. What would be the next release from the band? Would we get some weird rehearsal from 1973? Would we get something from the 80s, maybe with Vinnie Vincent on it? Would we get something from the Revenge era? Would we get something else from the original lineup, like a reunion show or something from the Dynasty tour that no one's ever heard? The possibilities were completely endless. It was a wide open road for us to go on as Kiss fans with the band on this journey and give them more money no matter what they release. So what were we gonna get for the second release? We got Virginia Beach, July 25th, 2004. Not really any of the things that I just mentioned, but that's what we got. It's from the Rock the Nation tour, which we'll get into here in a second, but does have a unique set list. But it's the current lineup, of course, of the band with Gene, Paul, Eric, and Tommy. And there's some mixed opinions, to say the least, out there in the Kiss community right now. A lot of people are mad because it's the current lineup of the band, and they don't want any of that. They want any of those other things that I just listed. But a lot of people are just surprised even as well that this is kind of what they're going with. Now, I kind of get the train of thought with this one because kind of what I just said a second ago, the Rock the Nation tour had a more unique set list. So for the series, whether you want to admit it or not, this is a good pick. Plus, I remember going to this tour as a young kid and I loved it. So having a souvenir of this is going to be awesome. Now, of course, there's the other problem. They did the instant live CDs from the tour, and that was this really cool and unique thing at the time where basically you could buy the show you were at from a truck in the parking lot on a CDR. Might sound a little bit shady and weird, but that's what you could do. And as a result, they've already got all of these shows recorded, so I wouldn't be surprised to see more from this tour as well as some of the other tours they did this on, like the Alive 35 and whatnot. But of course, that makes some people mad because they basically already have this show, or in some cases, literally already have this show on a CDR. They don't have the vinyl version, of course, or the new CD version, but they already have the show there. And then on top of that, there is a DVD release of this tour that features footage and music, of course, from it. So it's not quite as unique as the last release. That's something that's undeniable. But again, we are going to be here to look at the positives today. There's enough negativity in the world. We're going to look at the positives here because that's what we do here on the Rock Bliss with Kimchi Chris channel. And the previously mentioned set list is probably the most positive thing. So let's go through this thing because there's a lot of songs that the band doesn't play super often. So they kick things off with Love Gun. That's an interesting opener. They did that, of course, with the Crazy Nights tour. Maybe they did some of the Revenge dates with that. I can't quite remember. I'm probably wrong, but not a consistent opener. So Love Gun, it's a pretty cool one to open the show with. Then they go into Deuce. I don't care. I'm never going to get mad about Deuce being in a set. It always should be the first or second song, so it's good that it's there. Making Love, I've never thought that's been the best live song, but it's not a common live song, especially at this point in the band's career, so cool to have it on there. Lick It Up, whatever. Christine 16, a song that they really shouldn't have been playing at that age because it's called Christine 16, but it's there and it's a little bit less common. I guess it's good that it's there. Tears Are Falling is a song that was definitely not as common at the time. It's a little more common now, but cool to have it on there. She, I love She. song you don't hear a whole lot as well. Got to choose one that was a little less common at the time, so definitely some heavy hitters there. And then we have I Love It Loud, something that's been played to death. I Want You, which I don't hate the song, but live it's always been a little bit of a dragging song because of Paul's little rap at the end, but whatever, it's there. Psycho Circus, I'm always down for Psycho Circus. I am a Psycho Circus stan till the day I die, so let's have more Psycho Circus on there. King of the Nighttime World, very cool addition, one that you again really don't hear that much in any of the current sets. War Machine, at the time, that was a unique one. Now it's been played every tour, but at the time it was a unique song to have in the set. 100,000 Years, one that I will never really be mad about, other than maybe like at the farewell tour and whatnot, because it was getting a little bit draggy. But at this point, it was sounding good again. After that, you have Unholy. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a song you never hear with this lineup or the band in makeup in general. So you can't get mad at Unholy. A completely underappreciated song in the Kiss catalog. As far as Kiss, I know the fans, we know it's awesome, but a great song nonetheless. Shout It Out Loud, no surprise it's there. I Was Made for Loving You, no surprise it's there. Detroit Rock City, no surprise it's there. God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2. That's an interesting one because again, you don't hear it from this lineup too awful much, so I'm fine with it being there, even though there should be Black Diamond somewhere there in the mix. How do you do a Kiss show without Black Diamond? It doesn't make any sense to me. And then they close things out with Rock and Roll All Night. Should be zero surprises there as far as that goes, with that being the closer. And there you have it on the set list. So that's a unique set list. I don't care what anyone says, it's a cool one. Of course, they did some more unique songs throughout the tour, like All the Way and Love Her All I Can, so I don't know why they couldn't have included those, or a show that had those, or perhaps done a best of type of thing. I think they did that on a CD back in the day for the Instant Live CDs we mentioned earlier, but nonetheless, I think it's a cool set list, and I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of excited about some of the extra little merch that they're plopping out with this release, because the Rock the Nation litho, that's cool. I want that. I think they had something kind of similar to that back on the tour, but since I was a wee little Kiss Army member, I couldn't afford all the junk that I can now, so I am definitely gonna get that lithograph, and I might get one of the shirts because that tour is just very nostalgic for me. That was the first tour I really remember seeing vividly, still to this day. I remember it vividly. I saw the previous ones since the makeup went back on, Reunion, Psycho Circus, Farewell, and the Aerosmith one, but I was so young that they don't stick out as much as far as the experience goes in my mind. But this one does. I remember everything about this one. I remember Poison opening. I remember there being like weird songs in the set. You kind of didn't know what you were gonna get at every show because they did vary the set list up a little bit. I love the original lineup, but the tour before this, where they toured with Aerosmith and Peter was back in the band, you had Tommy on guitar, that was not a strong lineup at all. I love Peter. I absolutely love Peter, and I love Tommy. But you kind of had the weaker points there in the fact that Tommy was still new and Peter was kind of slowing down the beat a little bit, and that's just the facts. I remember going to that tour, and that's one of the things I distinctly remember, was that the songs were at such a slow tempo, but then when Eric was in there, even though I would have rather see Peter, those tempos were sped back up to a normal pace, and it was a little bit more rock and roll, to say the very least. Plus, as a kid, suffering through the idea of the band being done after the farewell tour and then them coming back with the Aerosmith tour and still not really knowing what was going to happen, Rock the Nation was exactly what I wanted. I was like, oh, my favorite band isn't going away. They're here for a little while longer. I had no idea at the time that a little while longer was going to turn into, well, what are we at? 15, 16, 17, 1,000 years more? But whatever the case may end up being, it's borrowed time in a lot of ways, but it's time that I am thankful for. And while I'm never gonna say that you have to love these type of releases or this era of the band or anything like that, one thing you really do have to look at is that anyone that's, I would say, from ages like 25 to what, 40 or 45 perhaps, this is the main version of the band, or in many cases the only version of the band that has existed during our time in this fandom. So of course we're gonna have a special place for this version of the band, regardless of the people that still want them to be existing the way they did in 1973, playing in a club in the leather outfits, and they never wanted things to evolve. And sure, we all would have loved to have seen the original lineup continue on, but I think we all know, when we look at our hearts of hearts, it wasn't gonna happen. It just wasn't gonna happen. Peter was kind of done at this point, didn't really want to play anymore. Ace was doing the things that Ace does, going out and playing shows and being awesome, but this is what we got at that time, and honestly, I cherish it, and I am so excited. I am so excited that we're gonna get a really cool, proper release with multiple colors of vinyl and lots of little trinkets and a CD and all kinds of things to really represent this era of the band, in the beginning of this era of this band as well, because this was the first big tour with this lineup, and I'm excited about this release. I think it's gonna be cool, and I know a lot of people are not excited about it. That's fine. It's completely fine. Nothing wrong with being mad about it. You don't have to buy it, but I'm excited about it. But what do you guys think? Are you as pumped about this as me? I know a lot of you won't be, but are you gonna get it? Are you gonna pick it up? Are you gonna wait? You can always just stream it on Spotify. You don't have to purchase the physical media anymore, but I know that I will be getting the color vinyl at the very least. Who am I kidding? I'll probably end up getting the black one as well. The CD, all those little trinkets we talked about. They have guitar picks and trading cards and all kinds of stuff coming out for this, so I guess that's going to be the trend. We're just gonna get a whole bunch of merch with it as well. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe, turn on the alerts, give this video a thumbs up, and all those other great things that every YouTuber ever has told you to do. Once again, my name is Kimchi Chris. This has been Rock Bliss with Kimchi Chris, and we will see you guys on the next episode.